So we are reading At the Dark End of the Street, Black Women, Rape and Resistance, A New History of the Civil Rights Movement from Rosa Parks to the Rise of Black Power by Danielle McGuire. And our sessions it started June 3rd and they last until July 29th. They are from 6:30 to 8. I asked how frustrating was it for you to see how much work it took across the country to bypass local authorities' indifference in Abbeville, Alabama, concerning Recy Taylor and the other women we learn about?
I don't know. I didn't find that piece frustrating as much as I did empowering. I mean, I thought it was great. So this whole national campaign got sparked to defend Recy Taylor. Rosa Parks being the lead organizer, E.D. Nixon with the Montgomery, it wasn't called the Montgomery Improvement Association, but it was the precursor to that. I thought it was great that this was still a time in our history when Black people cared enough about each other and were in touch enough with what they were feeling to be justifiably outraged and willing to, do whatever they could to organize around it. So yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it frustrating. I found it encouraging. What about you, Randie?
Well, that part, I thought was great that she was that the NAACP and Rosa was able to find all these people across the country in New York and Memphis really stand up for Recy Taylor and to letters from soldiers and men who advocated for Recy as well. But I was frustrated because she, they kept bringing up Recy Taylor still had to live there. Her attackers were still walking through the city. Like she really wasn't safe, and it was really frustrating. Even though I know, obviously it's history, so it's over with. But like I'm on edge, like worried about her. Are they gonna kidnap her again?
Right.
Her, family. They lynch anybody for any reason, and so just, I found myself having a lot of anxiety trying to figure out how safe she was, and how unfair it was. But this is the history of this country, and so it is what it is. But I was frustrated, like, oh my God, I really don't want her to get kidnapped again. Like I just that's all I kept thinking about because I hadn't heard of her, so I wasn't sure how her story ended, until I finished the first chapter.
Yeah. Any comments?
No, well, I was thinking about, someone like Recy who, complained about being raped at the time. And I wonder often how white women felt about the rape of someone of another race, or even have, what was so discouraging for them to even acknowledge that they themselves may have been raped by white men. So I think about those questions and wanted to know, why they themselves maybe the courage to come forward and say, I'm a woman who experienced rape, and this is wrong. Why were they so afraid to even acknowledge that part of their experiences as well?
White women?
White women at the time, because I'm sure there have, there's some they can maybe relate to some of the experiences that are similar.
Right.
To the raping of I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that's the only question that comes up for me.
You have any reaction to that, Randy?
She asked why white women were silent and how they must have felt hearing about the rapes of black women.
Yes.
Well, in the book, a few white women came out and white men came out and try to advocate for Recy, but not in a sense of standing up for her. But at one point, the sheriff and people had started saying that Recy was a prostitute and they hung out with bad people, and you had some white women and white men who were like, no, I know her, she's a good Negro. So in that sense, they spoke, but even then, there's definitely some racist undertones under that concept of being a good Negro woman. And the silence of white women didn't really shock me. I think maybe going to a predominantly white college traumatized me. So I wasn't really shocked to find that white women were silent at all. And I think that the fact that black people and that this really black women were seen to be less than and at the bottom of the bottom, you can't really feel bad for somebody being raped if you don't think they're women, you don't think they're human. And so I didn't really. So the silence of white women didn't really shock me, especially during that era when we're not even considered whole people. So I just thought it was the usual when I read that black people had to advocate so loudly and nationally because people in the town, white women and men in the town wouldn't speak up. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a mess.